we're leaving the gym right now. I'm telling you right now, I am never drinking again. Not that I even drank like a lot, but I had maybe half of a drink. Okay, hear me out. Half of one drink last night. Maybe it was the pizza too. I don't know. All I'm gonna tell you was that the toilet was being hit throughout the night. Not throwing up by any means. Feeling like fine now. Went to the gym, got some electrolytes in, but my sleep was dog shit. It just, like, I didn't sleep at all. And like, I technically was in bed for 8 hours, roughly, but like, it was just, I felt like I slept for maybe 3 of those 8. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had alcohol in a long time, like months, really, I would say. And so I guess it depends, like, everyone's gonna be different. Maybe it's just I'm not used to it. But like, it's just like, it doesn't fit the lifestyle. There's absolutely, in my opinion, there's no need for it. I don't like it anyway. Like, you know, so whatever. But other than that, went to the gym this morning. It's Sunday, and we're going back home. Pretty much like a couple things to do, but get ready for the week. And then we'll see how the week goes. Should be a good week. But yeah, starting the video off here. Well, the pool, obviously it worked. A little burnt. So I've been putting on some of this. That was a couple years ago, I feel like, but this is like the go-to. I'm generally like pretty tan as it is, so this is just like immediate after effects, but it'll blend in pretty fine. The back's fine. Just like somehow I fucked the chest up. I don't know. I thought I put a shit on there, but whatever. So what happens when the UV is 12 here? We went to the pool for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours max, and I put sunscreen on. A couple hours later, not as bad. Just reapplied. This bad boy feels pretty good. Itchy a little bit, but not terrible. Also, sunscreen wise, use something like this. Mineral-based sunscreen is better for you, better for your skin. Also, like zinc oxide is like the only ingredient here, like, or whatever the like main ingredient. Zinc is good. That's what you want. I got this for my tattoos. They're fairly new. They're like not even a year old. So the first couple of years, they say to make sure you kind of protect them as good as possible so they don't fade super nasty. But something like this, I put on those spots and then I apply like a general sunscreen on top of that. But not all the time because of all these shit and stuff that's in it. So I usually don't wear a lot of sunscreen. I know you want to protect your skin. I mean, so there's a balance of like early morning sun. That's what you could do. But do your research. Mineral-based sunscreen's technically better. It lathers up. And so it's not as appealing to look at. That's the only negative. Snack time. So there's this place here. They have it in Florida too. But here in Austin, Texas, it's called Delights. So they have this ice cream. You have to test it to understand what it is. But the nightly ritual, because I've actually been losing weight, believe it or not. Maybe it's a secret ice cream, I don't know, but we're gonna see. We take some Kodiak cakes. We make a little batter here. We cue up the waffle maker. We make a little waffle. We take the ice cream. We scoop the scoops on top, let it melt in, add a little syrup. Perfect. Higher protein, tastes fucking good. This is how you should finish off a day. That said, I want to start doing a better job in these videos of having a topic. And so the topic of today's video is going to be, why do I lift? Well, actually, the funny story is I've been lifting since I was about 16, junior year in high school. All right, one second. Let me just do this. I gotta get it done. Let's get this guy going. I don't think I put that much, so I don't think I'm gonna fill the full 4. But let's just fill, each of them one at a time. Let's go 1 there, 2 there. I know you probably can't see, but I'm just loading this bad boy up. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a half a waffle here. That's fine. It's kind of late. I don't want to eat too much before bed. Okay, so the reason why I say that is because I'm gonna get deeper into this later on in the video, later on. Like, it's only Monday. Actually, we had a green tray today. The dog peeing? Please don't tell me she's peeing. No, she's fine. I was like freaking out. But a lot of the food and the choices, decisions I make around food and stuff all come back to that. It's a big piece of my life, right? Like, you eat a lot, well, especially if you're very active and fairly young, you're probably eating a lot of food. So I always cater my food around protein. And so I look to get about my body weight in grams of protein every single day. And I've pretty much done that. Actually, the past like 2 years, I have been probably slacking where I was not eating enough, maybe more like 100 to 120 grams a day. And I'm 175 pounds, roughly, give or take. Been down in the low 170s now, but I fluctuate 165 to 180, somewhere in there. Depends upon the time of year. Look at that. Why, you may ask? It's because, according to some of the best research in the game right now, as I pull out my ice cream, that is essentially the amount of protein that you need to build muscle. And some will argue less, some will argue more. I don't know. I'm gonna go with around that number. And I also estimate. Used to track my food back in high school very, very aggressively. MyFitnessPal, whole game. But not anymore. I generally know outside of my protein, I don't give a fuck what I eat. And I'm not, and that's kind of kidding. I do, but I don't care about carbs and fat and how much I get. I have my multivitamin stack. I have multiple vitamins I have in the morning, creatine, all that crap. Yeah, sure. But when it comes down to how much carbs, how much fat, I don't know, whatever I eat that day, I eat that day. So I don't really think about it too much. All I worry about is the protein. Okay, how much am I getting approximately per meal? Try to get that up to like 175. If I get there, awesome. So here we go. The key now is we got the waffle. I usually have a full waffle, but in this case it's fine. Honey, how's it going? Yes. Okay, we got the chocolate, the vanilla. So this is Delights. They essentially have like this low carb, I don't know, it's not healthy, but it's not as calorie dense ice cream. This stuff is so freaking good. I don't know how they do it. Soft serve, whatever. This is like a patented, I guess, technology. I don't know, but it's really good. First things first, we throw down the syrup. Nothing insane, just like a nice little bit on the waffle to pre-saturate the waffle. Next step is to completely obliterate the waffle and cover it with ice cream, which is now what we've done. Put ice cream back in freezer, because if you don't, I will hunt you down in the middle of the night and I will kill you. It's not a joke. Ask my family, friends, everyone who knows me about ice cream. I don't fuck around with melted ice cream. That is a sin. That is an absolute sin. So we gotta eat this pretty fast. Not really, but I mean, I'm gonna eat this now. That said, I'm gonna talk about a couple things in the process. Get to watch me just chow down on this. Oh my God. But like in a nutshell, when it comes down to it, that's essentially where my head is at when it comes to food. It's food to fuel, to build muscle, to maintain muscle because you're not building all the time, and to fuel my workouts, to fuel what I do so that I can do what I do and feel good doing it and progress. And I think that carries over a lot into other aspects, whether it's trading, motivation, other things, work, not just fitness and stuff related, which is why I think it's a pretty important thing. And as I kind of think about it now, if it wasn't for lifting weights, wasn't for the gym, I have no idea if I'd be here filming this video right now. I'm gonna go a bit deeper into the why I got into it and all the stuff that I've learned kind of about myself over the past couple of years later on this week. But hopefully that's a good intro and a little bit of background into today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday, a little sunny rise here, leaving the gym today. We hit 45, 50 minutes of cardio, did a good amount of stretching beforehand as well. But the difference, why I'm not absolutely soaked, is they had these massive fans, and I got myself underneath one of the fans and it was freaking pumping. So it was really like, essentially I felt like I was in a wind tunnel the entire time. So minimize the amount of sweat that I guess didn't evaporate or whatever. But headed home day before CPI. So I am absolutely not expecting much, but if something happens, yesterday I don't think I talked about it. I had technically 3 trades I put on the TikTok, the trading recap, but 2 winners and 1 loser. So modest green day, but nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. But you know, you do that, you stack that up across the month, it's pretty good. You're not gonna complain. It's 9:11 a.m. We took 1 trade and it was a winner. I might have up a second one, but let's talk about the first one. Boom, I mean, that's a big move down. Extremely clean. I mean, this was like a text. It almost never works out this way, but when it does, it's like, oh my God, why didn't I size in heavier, right? That's how you always feel. But I played this one with honestly pretty small size. Is that me being kind of a pussy? I think so. Looking back, there was no reason to play it small. I could have played it normal, you know, but it still worked out and it made a few bucks. I'll take it. Breakdown right here, very nice move. Back test, resistance, prior support, turn resistance. nice move down, played the short on Microsoft, and that was it so far. But funny thing is, I'm actually eyeing up a IWM long. Go back to the 4-hour chart here and adjust this bad boy. Look at this IWM. I mean, guys, boom, boom. We break over 189.25. That's a new high of the year on IWM. So that is what I'm looking for potentially for a long. Only thing I would say is concerning is that SPY is down, QQQ is down, but not much. So this is what I'd be eyeing up for the rest of the day. If anything, we will see. But in the meantime, I want to build off of yesterday. We were talking about essentially why I lift, and we talked about the food aspect, the nutritional side, but I want to get into kind of like the reasons why and go back to high school. And I was someone who, I was not like the popular guy. I was not like the nerd, and I was literally, there was a show back in the day, I don't recall it too much, called The In-Betweeners, but I feel like that's where I kind of fit in throughout high school. And one of the ways to kind of gain more confidence and build more confidence, whether it was in myself, with peers and whatnot, was to get bigger and become, you know, more visually intimidating, if that makes any sense, or at least respectable, right? Have some veins, have some muscle on you. And so that's what I started to do as I got into junior year of high school. I was on and off in the gym freshman, sophomore year. I did some track, indoor track. I started going to the gym here and there, but nothing consistent. It was really junior year of high school that I really started getting consistent, and we had a home gym in my family's house. And my dad, you know, we had always had that. We kind of built it out. We'd work out here and there, and he would use that before he went to work. And I started hitting that up in the afternoons. I'd come home from school, have a snack or whatever, and I'd hit the gym. And I would go downstairs for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, and I would just work out. Maybe not 2 hours, that's getting a little bit, you know. So I would do there was like Athlete X back in the day. There was other like Beachbody, like the Beachbody's the company, which I believe the stock recently was an IPO or a SPAC or whatever. I don't know if the stock is even alive anymore, who knows. But they had some, you know, stuff. Some of the workout tapes, lifting tapes. We had dumbbells up to 50 pounds, and then we had a couple other things, bands and stuff. So it worked out for, you know, someone who was just starting out. It was great. It worked. It was fine. Hopefully, I can throw back and pull up some old footage, which would be kind of funny to toss in. And then I kind of started to get to college, and that was when things really kind of took off. And so, college is another time. You know, you're on your own. Again, you know, confidence. It really came. I think it stemmed from a confidence thing, and it was like, if I can build a physique that I'm proud of, strength that I'm proud of, right? That's gonna up my confidence. And so then when I'm out doing other things, whether it's in school, in life, I'm gonna have more confidence to go and achieve these things and go after these goals and go after these things. I'm not gonna be scared, because that's kind of what it was. I was someone who was never like, I was somewhat scared, timid, shy. I'm definitely an introvert, definitely, despite, you know, videos and stuff. And so I held myself back from trying to do things because of that. And so I think that working out in the gym over the past now like 9 years? I don't know, maybe 10 years since I like ever touched a weight probably now. It's been able to build that. And I think that confidence is still something that I think a lot of us can always work on, and I'm always working on, but it's a piece that I think in a big way, I'm no longer held back by, right? And so the reason why I think that's a big piece of my life that I haven't really shown too much on this channel, and I plan to incorporate that more as time goes on, because it's just who I am. It's a big piece of my life, and that's what I want to do on this channel. But if you have no confidence in yourself, right, how are you going to have the confidence to go out and work towards something that scares you, right? And so I think that's a big piece that when you boil it down, when I boil it down, that's what it came down to back then. It's definitely expanded beyond that now, but that's where it all started. Update on this IWM, holy fuck. Yeah, this is not good. This is just a complete fake out. So here's, this line is the high of the year. We got a nice push. The contracts I played were up 5% at the peak, but I'm looking for 10 plus. Really, I was looking for 190. And you just got a full fake out. This is all it was. Straight up fake out, popped up here, poof, massive sell, done. This is it. I mean, you can't hold that. So my stop loss hit, contracts on the right-hand side. Had a small win. This ended up being a bigger loss. But, is what it is. All right, so we stopped out on that original IWM play as we broke the high and then ended up coming down huge. This is actually getting really interesting, because if we come back up and break it, what we really are going to have here is an opportunity for a really nice squeeze. So I will play this again. If we do break that blue line, now, which we're coming up to it. If we do it, that'll be awesome. I think we can get a move up towards 190, which is all the way up here. So we'll see what happens. The stop loss will be 10%, no big deal. Worst case scenario, if we do enter again. But these actually tend to be, I've been watching these types of plays, and they actually tend to be really nice squeezes to the upside. When you have a breakout that fails and catches people on the downside, you get breakout buyers coming in here, they get freaked out, oh fuck, I'm out, and they have to stop out. Now we can go clean, and then we have a nice clean move to the upside, and we get shorts that come in and now go, oh man, this thing is done. They pile in, it squeezes, it goes to new highs. That's the idea, that's the anticipation. If the break occurs, we'll see if we get it. Update did not work. We kind of got close, lower high, ended up taking the downside move. Broke below you up. I'm gonna take the red day on the day. It is what it is. Thought I was down. No, we fucking did it. Check this out. I'm done. Done for the day. Nothing crazy here. It's nothing crazy, but we finished the day freaking green. So I had the loss on IWM, which was bigger than I wanted to, but guess what? I actually traded it twice. We just not slapped, this is just too good to pass up. So I played meta, played the breakout over this high around this 298 level. Why is that important? Why did that set up, and why did that just come to me and me say, oh, I gotta take this? Because daily chart, that's the high on the daily. 298, like 13 was the high on the daily. Go to the 1 hour chart, and 329 cents was the high on the 1 hour chart pre-market a couple days back. So we saw this setup, saw some consolidation, broke through, sent it. Target was right around 300. That just hit. So I actually had 730 on these contracts was my target. That just hit, and boom, we are out. And it came back and it turned us green. Now, 4 trades on the day is not ideal, but you can't pass up a daily breakout. So I will take it. I'm gonna walk away. Tomorrow's a new day, reset. That's it. Look how big she's getting. She can now reach, like she can stand on the windowsill and like look out. Let's see if she does it. She can do it without being on the beanbag. She can like get up there though. Oh, you know why? Because she wants those. She wants those things. They've been dangling. I had to hook them up higher so she can't reach them. Let's see what she's looking at here. Anybody out there? Is that Rex? That's your friend. Look at this position. This face is so serious. Yeah, there goes Rex. Rex hates her. She's too much for him. This is why the thing will get done. Because you see how easy it is to get caught up in this little menace. And it's good, I'm not complaining, but very difficult to focus when she is awake. When she's sleeping is the time to get worked up. So she just got up. Luckily the trading is done. So the focusing is done. Oh no. Also, circling back, this meta trade pinned it perfectly. I mean, look at that high. The high literally lines up almost exactly to the line, 300 bucks or so. That's where you sell. That's where I had the target. And look at it now. If you held back down, you're down. So it's like there's a little bit of some skill that goes into the TA behind the targets that we have in mind. Of course, it doesn't always have to work, but this time it did. Something about Thursdays, man. Red day today, down about the same size as I think my biggest green day of July. We're still green in the month because I've had like a tiny red day, a couple like modest greens, and one like normal size green day based off the sizing that I've been using right now. And I kind of have this feeling of like I'm being a pussy in terms of the sizing. So I kind of like I step away and I'm like, oh man, okay, here's what happened today. Here are the trades. I'm like, geez, you know, I feel like totally could get a bigger bang for my buck here and should be sizing heavier on stuff. I just think right now, maybe I don't want to do that because it's about to be going away in a week and a half. It's summertime. Once I come back in August, maybe that'll be the case. So that's why I'm keeping the sizing consistent. I don't want to change that, you know, in the middle of a month randomly. That said, it was a choppy day. I need to do a better job of recognizing chop and using the higher time frames to frame the trades versus trying to spot something inside of a choppy environment. Spy had like a $1 range for like 3 hours today, and then it eventually broke it, but then it broke it, came back down. So it was never clean breakouts. I played Spy in the breakout, played QQQ earlier. Both of them were like immediate entries and stops. Like it popped through and then stopped me out. So I kept the wrists really tight, but it just didn't work. Took too many trades too, which is something that I need to do a better job of on these days. Walk away, walk away, walk away. I was doing really good with that in May. Haven't done as good of a job lately. I don't want to say it has to do, there's no excuse, it's the pup right there. I don't want to say it's the dog, but back in May, I'd have these like really, and it wasn't as hot too. So I'd go out, sometimes I'd go for a walk. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going for a walk. I'm just gonna, and even if it was 10 minutes, even if it was a half hour, sometimes it'd be an hour. I'd say, fuck it, I'm gonna go for a walk. It's 10 a.m., I finished for the day, whether it's a win or loss, and I just move, I don't even bother. So like, that's one thing that I want to get back to doing. I can totally do it. It's just walking the dog is not a very peaceful experience as of right now. But no excuses, you know, I can put her in the crate, she's crate trained now, and do that if I wanted to, whatever. I want to go on and build off of yesterday. We were talking about why I lift, but why I lift now. So we talked about the past, but now. When it comes to right now, the reason why I lift there's actually multiple reasons. There's the stress relief, if you will. There's more of that clarity, peace of mind, go in, focus on one thing. Way to kind of set the tone and start the foundation for the day, the week, the month, as you kind of continue to progress. I'm always looking to progress, to compound, right? Compound consistency, compound whatever, gains, you know, all those things. That's like a big piece or big basis, I feel like, to my life. So there's that side, but then also I think we know through a lot of research that's been done that that's a very fundamental piece in like just overall general health. Strength training, also cardiovascular, you know, training or exercise. Not to be like insane training, but there's a lot of benefits to that in terms of your longevity and then just your overall health, whether that's fighting off disease now and lowers your risks of essentially like the top ways everyone dies in this world, right? And then I also heard this one thought, this is kind of a thought that goes in, I don't know, I'm not like crazy about longevity in terms of that side of things, or I'm trying to like lower my age based off of all these things. I'm not doing that stuff, but I'm trying to do what I can, diet, exercise, and whatever lifestyle, to be as good as like me, right, is what the game is. But in like, think about this, in like 25, 50 years, where is technology going to be when it comes to like aging and extending life? So if you're 75 years old, for example, I'm 24, I'm about to be 25, call it 25. In 50 years, when I'm 75, am I going to be healthy enough to maybe undergo protocol or undergo treatments or things that maybe can extend me to be 100 plus, like healthy? I don't know. Is that a thought? I'm not one that is in with thinking this pessimistic mind. A lot of people my age, I feel like, think that way, where, well, the world's gonna, you know, be over anyway, you know, we're all gonna die anyway or whatever. And so they're like, fuck it. Why not live now? I'm not saying that I'm not living now. Like going to the gym, working out, those are two things that I have now set goals to, just things I want to achieve. So they're fun, like they're fun things that I want to do. And I don't spend a million hours there, right? So they're enjoyable and they're beneficial to your overall health and potentially longevity and longevity. So why wouldn't you want to do that stuff? And that's a big piece that rolls into just kind of why I do it now. So it's not necessarily to be the biggest, coolest, you know, look sick and stuff. You know, yes, you know, if you work out all the time, you eat pretty healthy, you're gonna look pretty good. If you train like an athlete, you're gonna probably look like an athlete, right? That just kind of goes hand in hand. But it's not about that as much anymore of kind of where it started. It's definitely a lot more longevity focused and also just health. Like if you are strong, there's been a lot of studies that I've been seeing too that, you know, you can have good cardiovascular health, but if you haven't strength trained or lifted any weights, you know, you're gonna be kind of frail as well. So like you wanna have this balance of good, you know, cardiovascular health and also this like strength. And it's not like being a power lifter strength, but this general strength that your body can handle if you freaking fall down the stairs, you know what I mean? And not break 7 bones when you're 75 years old. Things like that. So that's kind of the game plan. That's the goal, you know, where things are at now. I mean, that's just where my mind's at, but that's why I do it now. So I really enjoy it. there's plenty of benefits when it comes to stress relief, but also motivation to like focus in on one thing that then applies to multiple other aspects of my own life. So it sets the tone, that's what it really does. And then tomorrow, Robinhood portfolio, I wanna cover that too. It's popping up to almost all-time highs or highs of the year. And so we'll cover that tomorrow and wrap the video up there. Friday is not in the books, it's actually like 10 a.m., but I'm gonna film this now because I'm done for the day, trading-wise at least, and I got other work to do that I gotta do, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I mean, today was another red day, second red day in a row, actually the biggest red day. It was just 2 trades, 2 losses that I guess you could say they were probably a little bigger than they had to be, but they were valid stop points. I don't think I would go back and adjust my stop points to, you know, whatever, to make them smaller losses, because those levels that I had to risk made the most sense to me. This is the first red week in a while, the first week I'm not paying myself out of the Webull account in a while, which is good and bad. I mean, I'm saying it's bad, it kind of sucks now, obviously, right? But it's kind of good because that's pretty impressive. That's a pretty good run that I've had. Not a big, I mean, actually not a big red week overall. Actually, technically still green on the month by a little bit. And so we'll see what happens. You know, next week will be the last week of trading for me in July, day trading if I'm going to do anything. But yeah, the whole thing here is the point. The strategy just is not working right now or this week. We have good moves, and I've got a video that I'm going to cover next week of a mistake. There's some mistakes. I go back, yesterday probably could have been a green day. It was a red day. Probably could have been green, which would have made the week probably green, even with today. But, you know, or break even, you know. But looking back, there's a couple little things that I, you know, am taking away. One of the points I'll cover next week. But overall, it wasn't a week that really gelled with what I trade. We had a lot of fake outs this week. And we had like these nice setups that would break out and then they'd go a little bit and then they'd come right back down and dump. It was more of like, yeah, because it's one of those weeks where it kind of sucks because you kind of feel like, oh man, you know, I'm trading to the upside, I'm trading longs, but I'm losing. Meanwhile, like, you know, you look around, everyone's winning, the market's going higher and higher, all these stocks are squeezing out and having massive moves. You're like, huh. It's just that to fit my strategy, I have some criteria that need to be met. And like, to trade some of these moves to the upside, I would be breaking, you know, a rule or two. And I'm not gonna start doing that consistently, then that can spiral into bigger problems later on, as I've done in the past. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just keep operating the way that I know this system works. And so that's kind of where we're at. So it kind of, you know, it kind of sucks, but like you can't think too much about it like that, because if you do, then you start, you know, you can easily start unwinding a lot more profits and giving back way too much. And next week's another new week. Overall though, I do want to touch on the Robinhood portfolio. So let's cover that right now. It's at 10,826, which I believe, I know. Year to date, that would be a new high on the portfolio. It is up 45, almost 45% on the year, which is cool, but I don't really care too much. The game plan is to keep the gains, right? So you make money, you have some risk on, and now you start to go off. And so the whole plan and the whole point now is we start to risk off. I'm gonna make an entire video on this, but I just wanted to update where it's at. There will be an in-depth video coming in like a week or so that will be going over my whole thought process behind it and all that. But update-wise, positions are pretty much the same. I trimmed a little bit more SOXL, and then I also added an SQQQ hedge. I will be going away in about a week. So for the next couple of weeks, to give me peace of mind, I want to have an additional little hedge on there just in case, because portfolio is mainly long. It's not long tech stocks necessarily. Actually, not a ton of exposure to tech stocks, but tech has been very strong. I'm gonna go with a tech hedge. And I just bought shares, no options. So if the market pulls back, the thing is not gonna do anything crazy. It will protect me by a couple $100. It's all it's gonna do. But I don't really have a lot of other stuff that would take a massive hit if tech fell off. You know what I mean? So it's possible that tech could fall off, other things could do well. For example, silver, bonds, you know, and maybe the Dow is kind of strong. And it's possible that everything can be going up for all I know. That said, that's the end of the video. A lot of stuff in here, but it was kind of a fully loaded week. I know it's long, but I feel like there was still some good stuff that we covered. So thanks so much for watching. Links, resources, all that stuff in the description box, like always. Thumbs up on the video if you guys liked it. Let me know if you want to see more. Consider subscribing. Pit stains, and I'm gonna take a shower.